Hello friends and welcome to Vote. Today's episode we are going to be talking about how to live a life with intention, or how to live an intentional life. Okay, how to be intentional about your life. So I've coined up about 10 steps in which one can follow when they are deciding to start living a life of intention. Now the first 5 are going to be in the part 1 of the podcast. Okay, now I want you to stick around to say the last, because the last 2 are really important and I want you to pay attention to that. Okay, so before we get into this, I would really appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel, give it a like and share the content. Okay, let's go. The first thing you're supposed to do is pause and reflect. So what do I mean when I say pause and reflect? At this stage is you just trying to make the decision. Okay, so you are deciding, I want to live an intentional life, right? Obviously you are first supposed to recognize where you are. You need to have some sort of humility, right? Like you recognize where you are and then you try to figure out where you want to be. So you want to reflect on the decisions that you have previously made, because you know the greatest risk is history, right? Like the past history. So you are most likely going to repeat the decisions you have made. Therefore, it is important that you reflect on the things that you have done first. Okay, so that you know when you are trying to repeat the same cycle or when you're actually making different decisions. Okay, so the next point is you want to define your vision. Now it is very important when you're defining your vision that it is simple and it is clear. This is very important because it allows you to actually aim for it, and it allows you to be able to notice when you actually are deviating from that goal, right? If it is clear enough, you are supposed to know where you are going, and it becomes easy for you to know when you are not doing the things you're supposed to be doing in order to achieve that goal, right? So your vision should be clear, should be simple, but it should also be emotionally compelling. Okay, like I've talked about it, human beings, we are emotional beings, right? Like very few people are going to be logical about things. We are emotionally driven. So your vision should have some type of emotion attached to it, right? Because really there will be times when you want to give up. Okay, but obviously how you feel about your vision, how you feel about your goals will be the thing that propels you towards that, and that will be able to push you in difficult times. So make sure your vision is simple, make sure it is clear, and make sure it is emotionally compelling. This is very important for you to achieve what you want to do. Okay, the next point is you want to set clear priorities, right? Obviously this sounds so simple. It sounds so simple, yet it is one of the difficult things to do, because you need first to define what your priorities are, and obviously you can't have multiple priorities, then nothing really is a priority, right? So it is very important that you be able to define what your priorities are and you put them at the highest level, because how you set priorities, that's how you are going to actually work, or you are going to live your life. So much of your energy is going to be spent on things you consider to be a priority, right? So your energy, your time, your money is going to be consumed on things you consider to be a priority. So it is very important that you set them clear. And obviously you can have more than one priority, but they should be in some sort of hierarchy, right? There should be something that is clearly at the top and you don't deviate from that. Okay, you don't compromise on that. That's how important it is for you to set up a clear priority. Okay, and the last thing in these steps is you want to actually have daily rhythms. Okay, now by rhythms I just mean habits. Okay, so it's important that you create these habits, and the habits are so important because they become like second nature. You just do them. So there are instances when you are going to have difficulties, or when you don't want to get out of bed, but because you have developed this habit, you kind of are moving on autopilot, right? So for example, if you wake up at 3 every day for the past 5 years, right? Even when you don't want to wake up at 3, you are just going to wake up at 3. You don't even need an alarm to wake you up, right? So like that is important. And you know that habits are actually what is going to propel you when you are actually having difficult challenges. So it is important that you create your daily rhythms. These are going to help you when you are actually stumbling around, because you're going to fall back to your daily habits. All right, guys, so we're going to look at the next point, which is protect your attention. Now, protecting your attention is very important, especially in this social media driven world, where technology is everywhere and we get distracted so easily with all the notifications, from either your Instagram, your Twitter, your YouTube, so on, WhatsApp. So it's very important that you protect your attention. Ways you can do this is when you are doing the things, especially that is about your goal, about your vision, you try to put your phone away, try to focus on that. Obviously, unless if your vision is socially related, or maybe let's say if you are a content creator, then definitely you want to be on social media, because that's where you're going to be getting all the views, right? Like if you're trying to influence someone, obviously then social media is going to be the platform that you use. Otherwise, if it is not you putting content out there, you're just a consumer, don't spend so much time on social media, right? Because I'm using social media as one of the, it's because we easily get distracted with social media, but could be other things as well. There are other vices that you spend much time that you're not supposed to be spending much time on, right? It could be movies, series usually take your time. Movies are better. Series, you can go on hours and hours just watching, binge watching series and whatnot. So it's very important to protect your attention, because it's the only way you're going to be able to focus on your vision, right? Make a decision to just focus on your vision. Okay, so the next one is practice gratitude and presence. To be grateful is very, very important. You need to know or to appreciate the things that you have, so that you can leave room for things that you can be blessed with. So need to practice gratitude. It can be maybe, take some 5 minutes of your day, just practice gratitude, or take 10 minutes, call people that you are grateful for, or just thank God for the things that you have. The presence aspect of is just practicing the art of showing up. Okay, like you can't fake showing up. You need to show up for yourself, you need to show up for your friends, you need to show up for your family. So it's important that first and foremost you are grateful for the things that you have, but also be able to help others that actually might need your help. So practice the art of showing up. Okay, the next point is review and realign regularly. You need to review the things that you've been doing. Okay, your schedule, let's say for a week, you need to review. Why do you need to review? It's very important because you tend to deviate. Okay, we are human beings, right? When you make a plan, chances are maybe you're just going to be maybe 70% effective on that plan that you have made. Therefore, it's important that you look at the things that you could have done wrong, or that you did wrong, and the things that you did right, because they are both important. So the things that you did right, obviously you want to work on those, you capitalize on those. The things that you did wrong, you try to find ways in which you can actually improve. Therefore, you move a little bit easier and a little bit faster towards your goal. And like if you are trying to actually review maybe after 3 months, or after 6 months, you find that you deviated from your pathway so long that it becomes almost impossible for you to actually go back to your goals, right? So it's very important that you review what you are doing regularly. The next point is saying no with a purpose. Now I added purpose because it is important. You don't just say no to anything else, but you are saying no with a purpose, meaning you are saying yes to something else, right? Because the things you say yes to are going to take your time, they're going to take your money, they're going to take your attention, they're going to take your energy, right? And all that really grouped up, that is your currency. So you don't want to be just giving it away. Saying no to something is like making a decision, right? Like you cut off any other possibilities and you just focus on one thing. So here we are going to make a decision on just focusing on our goal, and we say no to other things. Okay, now this could mean you're saying no to your friends, maybe going out because you are spending time that you don't have and time you want to focus on something else. Or it could mean saying no to actually yourself, because there are some vices that you're not supposed to be doing, or vices that take your time which you're supposed to be spending working on your goals, right? Improving yourself. So saying no with a purpose is very important. The last point, I think this is the most important part of all the points I've said. This is the most important part: surrounding yourself with intentional people. because at the end of the day, we are human beings. You are going to fall. You will try to go back to your old ways. And if you are surrounded by people who are not doing the things you want to do, people who are going to be bringing you down, it becomes very easy, because they are just going to tell you, you know what, give up. No, you know, you can't achieve that. You know, that is impossible. We knew you are not going anywhere. But if you are found with people who have the same goals, people who are intentional, people who want to do the things that you want to do, or people who are doing things that you want to do, these are going to help you. They are going to bring you up. They are going to make you realize the things that you should do differently. Okay, this is actually can be one of the difficult things to do, especially when you're just starting off, because you are going to be found in between, right? You are trying to get away of some sort from the people that, you know, the old friends, let me just say that, who are doing things that you don't want to do. But you're also trying to fit in a group of or a category of people that, yet you have no background or you have no evidence to say you belong to that group, right? So you are kind of in between, and it might be a little bit difficult to maneuver around, and it can be easy for you to actually fall back to things or to people that you are familiar with. But this is the time now you're supposed to be really intentional about what you want to do, and you want to actually move forward. Okay, so this is the most important thing, because all these things you can have them, but if your surroundings are not really able to bring you up, they are definitely going to tear you down. And like Jim Rohn always used to say, you are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. And I truly believe that, therefore, it is very, very cardinal that you are found with people who have the same goals, the same intentions like you. Alright guys, so that is what I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.